We will now demonstrate Panorama Necto and the insight discovery capabilities it can give you. We will see an example how different types of users can analyze data and easily collaborate with each other on the insights found. All this using a governed, fully web-based application that recommends to us what best steps to take. In this scenario, we are a company who markets consumer goods such as computers, cameras, and toys in the US. We're now at the end of the second quarter of the year and would like to review our results. Our information is organized in workboards, such as you see in the thumbnails in front of you. Workboards are the next generation of dashboards. They are a place to gather business intelligence information that is dynamic, collaborative, and suggestive. In front of you, you can see Necto's homepage. This is where Necto allows me to find the information I want easily and quickly. On the left side of the screen, you can see my personal information, my areas of interest, and my friends, the people I work with on an ongoing basis. Necto uses this information in order to give me better recommendations as to what to work on. At the top of the screen, you can see 5 quick links. Recent workboards shows me the workboard that I've been working on recently so I can continue my work. Favorite workboards are workboards I bookmarked for easy access. Relevant workboards are workboards Necto recommends to me. Necto uses crowdsourcing to recommend to me workboards I may find useful. We can also see here recent discussions, and we'll see more of discussions in just a little bit. I can also subscribe to other users, a little bit like the Twitter concept. I can follow users who are doing work that's interesting to me, and with that find new insights and learn new ways to use Necto. I also have a discussion ticker here for incoming messages, and a search area to find workboards according to their names and content. This is the end of the second quarter, and I would like to see the results of this quarter, so I will open the overview workboard. This workboard allows senior management to get a clear and concise view of the entire business in a way that's easy to understand and yet gives them the full business picture. On the top left-hand side of the screen, we see the quarterly budget expenses. We can see how we perform budget-wise compared to our plans. And where there are issues, Necto highlights for me in red so I can focus on these areas of problems. In the middle of the screen, we can see various measurements of our operations. We can see how we did on market share, out of stock measurements, average time in inventory, and returns from customers this quarter, and compare it to the previous quarter. On the right hand side of the screen, we can see human resources information and the metrics they're using, such as vacation day utilization, overtime hours, trained personnel, how many of our people have been trained on the new things we're coming out with, and the number of new recruits in our organization. At the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we can see how we performed sales-wise. We have 3 sales channels that we're looking at here: catalog sales, online sales, and store sales. I can see that in catalog sales, we performed pretty well. We had more sales than what we were planning for, as can be seen by the marker on the gauge and by the fact that it's color-coded green by Necto. I have some information about why this quarter was such a good quarter in sales by catalog. I would like to share this information with other people who are using this workboard, so I will add a comment to this information. Let's see how comments look in Necto. I will click on the Show Comments button. Here you can see 2 comments that other people have left on this workboard, each one of them highlighting information that they know that I don't. So in fact what they're doing is adding another layer of intelligence above what already exists in this workboard. And if I want to add my own comment to this workboard, all I have to do is grab the comment button, move it to the area where I want to place my comment and the date I want to add a comment to, and add my comment to Necto. This is great. It happened because of a new type of catalogs we have been using this quarter. I expect this trend to continue in the next quarter. Now other people using this workboard will be able to better understand the information in front of them and better prepare for the future. Next, I look at online sales. I can see that online sales were not as good as we expected them to be. Necto already highlights it in red because of that. I want to better understand what are the causes for the problems in online sales. So I will click on the online sales infographic. The infographic is not just a visual representation of the data. It also allows me to do different actions on this infographic. Let's see a few of them. I want to better understand this information, so I will click on the detailed infographic button. This opens up another infographic that gives me more information about the information that was presented to me. It allows me to see where the issues were and allows me to react to it. I can see that the source of the problem was with one specific area of internet sources. I want to better understand it with the person who's responsible for it. So I will start a discussion with them. In order to do that, I will open up the Necto social ribbon. Necto shows me the list of users who it recommends to me to work with based on their usage, or the list of users who are my friends. These are the people I work with on an ongoing basis. I would like to ask James Manning, who's responsible for online sales, whether he knows what is the cause for this problem. So I will grab his card and place it on top of the issue I'm seeing. A new discussion has opened. It's connected to the original issue that I want to discuss. Here I can place my question to James so we can start discussing it within Necto and connect it to the data that is presented. I can also add other users. I would like to add Adam to this discussion, so with that, building an ad hoc team to address the problem I'm seeing. Both James and Adam will receive this discussion in Necto and in their emails with links to this workboard and to the issue that I have seen, so we can continue and work on it together. On the left hand side here, I see store sales data. I can see that in store sales we also haven't reached our goal. I'd like to see if there's more information on it. So I'll click on the details button and I can see that there is some issue in selling of cameras to men. In this case, I would like to research this on my own. So I will go and find what other workboards are linked to this specific data. I can see that there is a sales analysis workboard, so I will go there. This workboard allows those who want to do an analysis on their own to do the research for data and insights. You can see in this workboard I have an infographic and animation that gives me rebate information from our stores. It also has bubble up exceptions. Bubble up exceptions highlight to me issues that are hidden at a lower level than what is presented here. So for example, I can see that there was a problem in sales of monitors. If I'll go to the comment area next to it, I can see the explanation to this issue. The reason is that the market is awaiting new releases of monitors and therefore there has been a drop in monitor sales. I also have here a map that visualizes the data according to the different geographies that we're using. If I look at the legend, I can very easily see, for example, that computer sales were very low in New York while very robust in Texas. If I look at the sales graph here, I can see that there's been an issue. Seems that cameras have fluctuated a lot and recently have dropped. I want to look at the data and maybe find some more explanation to it. So I will look at the data itself. I will ask Necto to look for issues. I will click on the one-click insight button. Necto highlights to me where are the main problems it has found. It found that between May and June there has been a drop of over 50% in sales of cameras. I would like to understand this better, so I would like to ask the person who's most relevant to this issue. Maybe he can let me know what is the problem, but I don't know who this person is. I'll ask Necto. I'll click on the issue and click on Find People. Necto now analyzes the data, looks for the people who are involved in sales of cameras, and lets me know what was their contribution to the figure that is presented. So I can see that Mike Feldman had a very positive contribution to sales, while in Adam's case, the contribution seems to have been poorer. I'd like to ask Adam, what is the reason for it? Maybe there are issues here that I'm not aware of. So I'll click on Adam and start a discussion with him. Now I'll let Adam answer to me so he can give me more information about what happened this month. Now that I've discussed this with Adam, I'd like to make sure that other members of the team also get this workboard on an ongoing basis whenever such a problem arises. So I will build a notification that will send this workboard for them when needed. I will build a new notification. I will add a message. I will make sure it is sent every Monday and Wednesday if the issue has actually happened. And I will send it to the users that I think are the most relevant, such as Adam, Ben, and Boris. That's it. As simple as that. I've built an automated notification that will go out to them every Monday and Wednesday if Necto will find such issues with the data presented here. Next, I would like to research this issue on my own. I have here a chart that shows me the information according to the products and the channels we're using. I'd like to do some of the research, so I move and look at the data. Necto already shows me that the most significant issue has been with sales of cameras in stores. Usually what I would do now is research the data by starting to slice and dice the data, look at it from different angles, trying to figure out what has changed and what has happened that made this drop in sales. Necto can do most of this work for me. Let's see how. I will click on the issue and choose cause and effect. Necto will now analyze the data and come back with the 3 most significant explanations for this drop in sales. I'd like to focus on the real biggest issues, so I'll change the threshold and filter to look only at issues. I can see at the bottom that I'm having a problem with a specific manufacturer, VSA. This is new information. I'd like to research it and find out whether there's a problem with the manufacturing or the supply to stores. But the information doesn't exist in this workboard, so I'd like to see if there's any other workboard in Necto that contains this information. I will click on the Necto Advisor. The Necto Advisor recommends to me other workboards that other users of this workboard have been using or that have similar information. In this case, I can see that Nir has been using a production process analysis workboard. I'd like to see if that can help me. Here's an example of a workboard that a non-BI expert manager can use to analyze his business. I can see the different contributions to the cost of goods to as far as production, manufacturing, and delivery. I know what the revenue has been, so I can see what the profit we're making from it. I can then go ahead and look at the different manufacturers and see whether we're making profit from them or not. I can see that Assemble Here and Electrobuild both have given us profit. However, using VSA really gave us a loss. I'd like to see whether it depends on the different product lines. So I'll look at what happens with toys, and I can see that we're losing money with toys, although we are selling a bit. And with cameras, we're not selling at all. So now I know that I'm having a problem with this manufacturer. Even though they are producing products for us, there's probably a problem along the way that prevents us from selling the products they're manufacturing. I would like to research how our sales compared to the inventory that the manufacturers are sending to our stores. Maybe we have a supply problem.